These two characters are about to witness something important. This scene in Tron introduces us to Flynn, the protagonist. This scene does more than characterize him as a talented, sociable video game player. It positions him as opposite to the antagonist, Dillinger. It does this by showing Flynn being able to control the computer system. He is making the game do his bidding. He receives a score of 999,099, the highest achieved score. Score in video games is analogous of wealth in capitalism. The main conflict of Tron is actually the battle of capitalistic and religious forces between Flynn and Dillinger, both in NCOM and in the computer world.
Flynn is the rightful master of both territories of the film. He's the developer of these video games that Dillinger made all of the money of, and because of that he is implied to understand exactly how the video game world works. This is done in metaphor in the Tron video game world, because he is just naturally the best at every contest that Sark/Dillinger throw at him.
Flynn is required to fight or kill in order to live and advance to a new level. This competition and dog-eat-dog mentality is analogous to the nature of the monetary battles in capitalism that Flynn has to fight for because his games are stolen from the fraud, Dillinger, for notoriety, money, and the CEO position.
Knowing that Flynn's end reward for claiming victory both in the game world and in the real world is becoming the CEO, if the film were to take place only in the real world, it would make sense that the entire film is the story of a copyright court case. But Tron is not that. It's a sci-fi fantasy story that obviously needs to draw parallels between digital worlds and our own world. It does this also visually by revealing chambers of the NCOM headquarters in the same way that chambers and labyrinths of video game worlds are revealed in video games, as they are in the Tron world video game world too. Our introduction to the antagonist, Dillinger, comes through his analog character in the computer world of Tron. This character is named Sark. Sark actually appears to be very powerful. He defeats his opponent in Light Cycle mercilessly. However, it is soon revealed that Sark's power comes through Master Control. Master Control controls the computer world of Tron, and in doing so, rigs the rules of the computer world in Sark's favor. This is revealed to us in this opening conversation, in which Sark literally traps himself in a small, claustrophobic box in order to talk to Master Control. When the film cuts back to the real world, it becomes very clear that Sark is an analog for Dillinger when Dillinger communicates with Master Control in his office. Both Dillinger and Sark stand over their desks, over touchpads, and communicate with Master Control. While it's more clear that Sark is trapped through visuals, through this prison being constructed around him while talking with the MCP, in Dillinger's case in the office, it's Master Control's verbal demands that trap Dillinger. Just listen to these scenes as an example.
Now wait a minute, I wrote you!
I've gotten 2,415 times smarter since then.
You wouldn't dare.
Keep those programmers out of the system and get me that Chinese language file I asked for. End of line.
User requests are what computers are for.
Doing our business is what computers are for.
The conversation between Dillinger and Walter explains the capitalistic nature of NCOM and the computer's efficiency as a model for maximizing profit in business, setting high scores with money. Flynn, a young computing mastermind, resembles Walter, an old-school computer scientist with minimalistic ideas. The film, being a 1980s American film in the heat of a hyper-capitalist time, wants its audience to be convinced that capitalism rewards the ingenious and the morally good. Dillinger's role in NCOM was achieved solely because he was able to steal Flynn's games and trademark them as his own. This is a wrong that must be righted.
While Dillinger does take orders from Master Control, both characters engage in the same practice. They are practitioners of greed and efficiency. Greed and efficiency go hand in hand both in the capitalism of the real world and in the totalitarianism of the computer world. These two evil practices are made manifest in the visual language of Tron repeatedly. Through the film, you can see that Sark, Master Control, and Dillinger's forces are red. This helipad, the helicopter, the buttons on this number pad, and their goons' uniforms all have a lot of red. This evil red is often accompanied by dark black. Dark black is also the color of the night sky, which is interesting because for some reason Dillinger tends to have all of his important meetings at night with a dark sky. This helicopter traveling the night sky runs in stark contrast to Flynn's helicopter flying to the rooftop in the daytime sky in the end of the film.
In NCOM, the cubicles are blue, in a grid-like structure. In a capitalistic society, the grid-like structure is used to maximize efficiency and minimize human contact, in a way that is symbolic of a computer structure, mapped out and unhumanistic, organized and optimized. In the basement of NCOM is where the lab work is done. This workspace is stark white and highly grid-like as well. This is where Laura and other laborers work, the brains of the operation, but still at the basement level, which gives us the notion of a gendered capitalist hierarchy. In the computer world, Lori is set in a position of secretarial duties, which undermines her intelligence. The same type of gendered capitalist hierarchy, made more extreme under master control's totalitarianism. The color representation in the real world is also shown in the computer world. The heretics, or the good guys, are suited in blue, and the guards, or the bad guys, are suited in red. These representations of blue being good and bad being red are social constructs given to the colors that originated from the comparison of heaven and hell. Similar social constructs of colors were used in Star Wars, which was also referenced in the film.
The heavy presence of thematic color gives the audience a tool to know that Dillinger and Sark are the same kind of evil, both represented in red and both highly efficient. The good guys being represented in blue and white matches the good guys' atmosphere at the NCOM office, where in blue and white cubicles, or gray, white, and blue labs, they do work. Through the course of the film, we come to find that Flynn's work is finally rewarded with the position of CEO at NCOM. This CEO, Flynn, doesn't hold all of his meetings at night and doesn't seem to only fly his helicopter at night.
According to the moralistic encoded capitalism of Tron, this must mean that he is a good guy.